We appreciate your company. To a very fair story, former Auditor General Daniel Domelevo is calling for a complete overhaul of Ghana's legal framework, particularly in the law governing stay of execution and proof of guilt in corruption-related cases. He argues that the current system places an excessive burden on the state and often delays justice, stressing that reforms are urgently needed to ensure efficiency, fairness, and accountability in the fight against corruption. He made these comments on the news file with Sam Ladi Anyenini.
The status update given us by the Attorney General is quite commendable. My worry still remains the same, however. My worry is not about the speed of going into the courtroom. My worry is about when we arrive at the courtroom, what next? Because from my point of view, there are things which must change, or the legal framework must change to facilitate the early completion of these cases. One of them is the enactment of a law to limit the time frame within which these economic and organized crimes or looting or corruption cases can be tried. In fact, I take courage from the Supreme Court of Nigeria based upon Section 306 of their Administration of Criminal Justice Act and Section 40 of their Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Act prevented in-hearing appeals, that is stay of proceedings. They allow you to appeal during the proceedings or during the hearing, but there is no stay of proceedings. So once a criminal trial has started, it continues to the end. And I think if we bring such a practice to Ghana, it will help us so that a case does not stay in the court for too long. Again, proving the guilt, proving beyond reasonable doubt that someone stole money, especially in the form of economic crime, in terms of corruption, etc., is extremely difficult because these acts are not done openly. These acts are not done by people who are as daft as me. It is done by very intellectual people, people who have a lot of control and power and can also influence systems, people including even the investigators and prosecutors. So the principle of reversed burden, as implied or stated under Article 286, which says that from your previous declaration of assets and liabilities, if your subsequent declaration shows an increase in wealth which does not match your sources of income, gift, or etc., then you have acquired these assets contrary to the Constitution. I think we should expand on that law and apply it to unexplained wealth, apply it to all corruption and corruption-related cases.
On the same show, former Deputy Attorney General Joseph Bemka cautioned against what he described as premature pronouncement of guilt by state authorities before judicial processes are completed. He argued that when the Attorney General appears to conclusively determine guilt before trial, it undermines the constitutional principle of fair hearing. Mr. Bemka insisted that while the fight against corruption remains crucial, due process must not be sacrificed in the quest for accountability.
Any attempt, any statement, any utterance, conduct on the part of a state prosecutor that has the likelihood of giving out an accused to the public to be consumed is not accepted by this particular rule, which is guiding us as lawyers.
Corruption thrives in darkness.
I'm just putting this across. This is a law. If we do not want this to be in our books, let's take it out.
Right. Corruption thrives in darkness.
So long as it remains there. Hold on, Samson.
Yes, go on.
Because you see, as I spoke about, procedural fairness is equally important. Otherwise, one of these days, you hold these press conferences and out of anger, somebody will meet the person and shoot him. I tell you. Because the things I read in social media by commentators and even people of so much substance in society about the facts that were churned out by the Attorney General against specific persons. People are so much impregnated with anger and pent-up feelings that the persons mentioned, if they are met on the streets, can easily be killed. I'm being very honest with you. So we ought to be very careful and balance our search for justice and our utterances so that individual rights and liberties will not be curtailed in the course of trial. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the Attorney General telling us that I have charged a particular person with these charges and I'm putting him before court. There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. But when you make conclusive determinations of guilt before trial,
before you file the charges.
Before trial, is that law?
Before you file the charges.
And you make conclusive determination, you think that is law? Samson, I don't agree with you at all. That is not law. The final pronouncement as to the guilt of all accused persons is by the court. Whatever you say and whatever I say will not constitute the guilt of an accused.
What about what the Auditor General says?
What the Auditor General says does not constitute the guilt of an accused.
Until overturned.
Yes, I'm saying that it doesn't constitute a guilt until the courts, where you now take the person to, find that indeed, and in fact, what the Auditor General is saying is correct.
Now, meanwhile, legal practitioner Bobby Banson has reiterated calls for decoupling of the Office of the Attorney General from the Ministry of Justice. He argued that the current arrangement compromises clarity and independence in the prosecution of corruption cases. According to him, establishing a systematic and transparent legal framework is essential to Ghana to tackle corruption effectively rather than relying on political rhetoric.
We should agree on a systematic procedure and mechanism in compliance with either existing law or laws that we would pass so that we can address the issues to the root of it. For me, when I listen to the Attorney General with these press conferences, it emboldens my advocacy that perhaps it is time for us to actually decouple the Office of the Attorney General from the Minister of Justice.
Okay.
The reason being that the Attorney General cannot be a witness in a case that he's prosecuting. So all the things that he's saying, he cannot go and stand in the courtroom to testify. He has to use persons who now have first-hand information. Those persons will be cross-examined. The Minister of Justice may be in a better position to be able to give the public maybe some of these announcements and leave the Office of the Attorney General to be able to give or in that capacity as they. I think that if we do not have a systematic approach, we may be having problems. Now, when the Attorney General said most of the okay, he didn't say most, but some of the documents that were presented to them from the oral team, and this is in reaction to what the former Auditor General said this morning, they found out that they didn't have evidence. And I had always made the point that the concept of recovery of all public loots is one that must be supported by every well-meaning Ghanaian. But in an attempt to implement that, we must not forgo what the existing legal structure says. That's the point. Now, if you look at how oral even started operating, yes. I had raised the point, what was the legal ambit within which oral operated? Because you see, we have the Whistleblowers Act that provides for the mechanism for persons to disclose information when they think there has been a crime or suspicion of crime having been committed. And the Whistleblowers Act provided for the mechanism and the procedure for disclosing these allegations to the right entities for them to investigate.
Now let's shift our focus to breast cancer awareness, where the Ghana Health Service has raised concern over the late detection of breast cancer, which it says continues to endanger the lives of many women in the country. Officials revealed that up to 70% of cases are still diagnosed at advanced stages. The warning came at the Trudy Arnold Foundation brought together survivors, families and health professionals at the True Care Experience, an event held to promote early screening and inspire hope in the fight against breast cancer.
Speaking at the maiden edition of the True Care Experience held in Accra, Program Manager for the Non-Communicable Disease Control Program at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Wallace Odiko Olenu, raised concern about the persistent high rate of late-stage breast cancer diagnosis in Ghana. He said despite ongoing awareness campaign, between 60 to 70% of cases are still detected at advanced stages, making treatment more difficult and survival outcomes poorer.
We are still seeing a lot of late disease. People come with advanced disease. About 60 to 70% of the cases are coming late. Barriers, some women speak of financial barriers, etc. But National Health Insurance covers breast cancer treatment. So I think people should be empowered to contact the health center if they detect a lump, and they shouldn't be afraid, because there is life after breast cancer, and breast cancer, when detected early, is curable.
For founder Trudy Anod-Boatin, the True Care Experience is deeply personal. She shared the motivation behind the initiative and the support it aims to provide for women.
So the True Care Experience was born out of something very personal to me. In 2013, I lost my mom to breast cancer. True Care Experience is my way of honoring her memory and ensuring that other women get help and awareness my mom never had. It's a platform that brings together survivors, healthcare professionals, and communities to share stories, raise awareness, and celebrate strength.
A survivor at the event commended Trudy Anod-Boatin for creating a support space for cancer survivors.
For someone to take this upon themselves to say, I want to organize something to put a smile on the breast cancer patient, it's a blessing to all of us and to God. So I really appreciate what Trudy and Arnold has done for us.
As survivors shared their stories of strength and loss, one message echoed through the True Care Experience that early detection saves life and no woman should face breast cancer alone. Rodalyn Abante's report read to you.
Well, still on breast cancer awareness, an oncologist nurse specialist at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Evelyn Osei Amwa, has disclosed that there is an increase in breast cancer cases at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. She said the hospital records at least 1 or 2 cases each week at the breast clinic. Madam Evelyn disclosed this at a free breast screening exercise organized by the Brooks Dream Foundation in collaboration with TVET and the Sagniri Na, and supported by the Ibrahim Mahama Global Foundation.
The Brooks Dreams Foundation is a non-profit organization empowering women and youth, especially girls, to achieve their potentials. Since 2007, BDF has provided opportunities through mentorship training and healthcare initiatives focusing on education, livelihood, and health. The foundation has been running the breast screening exercise for the past 5 years. This year, they are being supported by the Ibrahim Mahama Global Foundation. Speaking in an interview with Joy News, oncology nurse at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Evelyn Osei Amwa, said, breast cancer is real and is close.
Breast cancer is on the rise. We are always getting new cases, wherever we go, even people reporting in the hospital. Breast cancer, it's now common and it is real. People still see breast cancer as an abstract sickness, but it is real. It is very close. Cases are coming up. It is not going down. Day in and day out, there are new cases that are coming out. So breast cancer is on the rise. We run the breast clinic at the Tamale Teaching Hospital every Wednesday. And there's not a Wednesday that there will not be a new case being diagnosed. At least 1 or 2 new cases will be newly diagnosed at the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
The executive director of Brooks Dreams Foundation, Nadia Maimuna Kalim, said they are not just conducting this breast screening exercise, but also making referrals from the foundation to the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
The thing that we've been doing for some time is dear to us. We try to demystify the fear of getting screened and treated for breast cancer. So that has motivated us, and every year we try, in the month of October, we try to step up. Even outside of October, our center is always open. We have people who walk in, and then we always try to arrange screenings for them at the Tema Teaching Hospital. So it's not just a once in a year event that we hold. This year we were very blessed to have the sponsor, that is Ibrahim Mahama Global Foundation, who came on board, and that has really helped us to be able to increase the numbers and to do more outreach programs, and also we'll be able to give support and aftercare after the screening.
Some of the beneficiaries said it was a great opportunity offered them and appealed for the exercise to be sustained to benefit more people.
I want everybody to also go out there and also scream and see either there is something there or there is nothing there. Either you are at the house where you are, please come out and also do the screaming so that you'll be safe.
I'm so excited today when I came here. They screened me and even taught me how to do it myself. I didn't know all this, and so I am very happy.
And you're still live on JoyNews Prime. We'll come back with more news after this break. Thanks for staying with us. Now, across Africa, millions still turn to herbs, not only for healing, but also for hope. Yet, the continent's oldest and most trusted medical system continues to struggle for recognition, funding, and scientific validation. As the world confronts emerging health challenges, experts say it's time for Africa to invest in its own remedies rather than depend on donors. At a regional meeting in Abidjan, health experts and researchers from across West Africa cautioned that over-reliance on donor funding and weak research structures are stifling the continent's potential to develop resilient, self-sustaining health system. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin reports.
At the West African Health Organization International Conference on Lassa fever, the message was clear. Africa must look inward. Professor Kofi Buzia believes depending on foreign aid limits innovation and weakens ownership of Africans' health priorities.
Our health systems across the continent is donor funded. In fact, about 50% of the health budget of most countries comes from donors. Now, the donors will come with a package. They want to support maternal and child health, they want to support HIV, they want to support infant mortality, because another aspect of it is pharmacy, big pharma. The drugs are being produced, they need to be used somewhere. So why would we want us to prioritize something that is local to you? It comes with the governments themselves looking for maybe internal resources.
He says Ghana has made progress from the establishment of the Mampong Center for Plant Medicine Research under Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to the creation of the Traditional and Alternative Medicine Directorate and degree programs in herbal medicine.
Successive governments have all supported promoted the sector from the time of President Nkrumah with the establishment of the Mampong Center for Plant Medicine Research, subsequently coming down to other regimes, even to the extent that during the time of President Rawlings, there was a whole deputy minister for traditional medicine. Ghana has set up the Traditional and Alternative Medicine Directorate. We have the Traditional Medicine Practice Council, which is a regulatory body. And of course, now we have training programs where people are getting degrees in herbal medicine. The challenge has been that there is always limited funding.
For Dr. Anastasia Yerenche of Ghana's Ministry of Health, the solution lies in regional collaboration. She says herbs have great potential, but without research and testing, their power remains untapped.
We are bringing on board that we should, as an ECOWAS, have a research priority, a research agenda, and the agenda should be geared towards identifying herbal medicine science and then formulating them and validating them for pandemics and epidemics. We don't want to wait when there is a pandemic or epidemic before we run helter-skelter. We all know that herbs are very potent. Herbs had been the foundation of our medicines from ancient times. By this time, it is no more about faith-based, but it is about evidence-based. The whole world is looking at us that we add science to faith, what we have, so that they can conveniently patronize, so that when we have all these products well researched into, in terms of any pandemics, we reach out and they'll know that, oh yes, let's go to ECOWAS. ECOWAS have these products on their shelves.
Support is also growing from African leaders. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo has called on governments to dedicate at least a quarter of their national health budgets to traditional medicine research and production. For others, the mission.
Now to a final story. He was born a trader and a mechanic at just 17 while on assignment as a news intern. A chance encounter with another 17-year-old software engineer who was on his way to register a company to build websites and apps changed the course of his life. That's the story of Jacob Jan, CEO of Adroit 360 and one of Ghana's youngest IT innovators. Today, he leads a company that develops websites and apps for multinationals in Ghana and across the world. His latest work, MySmartCoke.com, is an innovative digital marketplace that offers consumers a smarter, simpler, and more enjoyable way to order drinks and book event services anytime, anywhere. From the same platform, users can also book MCs, DJs, and other event service providers. There is more in the following report.
My name is Jacob Jan.
Voice of Jacob Jan in this interview recorded 7 years ago when he was 23, shortly after being selected as part of cohort 3 of the President Barack Obama Young African Leaders Initiative YALI. Even at the time, though his company was still young, it had already made remarkable strides in Ghana's IT space. In this interview on Springboard with Albert Okran some years ago, Jacob recounted how at just 17 and working as a news intern, a chance encounter with another 17-year-old software engineer who was on his way to register a company to build websites and apps changed the course of his life.
I stopped the taxi and I think I was 17, 18 at the time. So another young chap looking like me comes and tells me, I'm going to register a company. And I say, register a company, what would you do? He says, I'll build websites and mobile apps. And amazingly, I didn't go and cover the news story. So, yes, I sat in the car with him, paid the car, and went to RGD to go and make inquiries. So he registered the company Strategies and Systems, Joseph, God bless him. And then we started the IT company.
Welcome to the Marriott Hotel, where Jacob's latest innovation is about to be unveiled. MySmartCoke.com, a one-stop online digital marketplace where customers can order drinks like Coke, Fanta, Sprite, Voltic, and many others.
It is an ecosystem designed around people. It is an app built with you in mind, around how we live, how we celebrate, and how we connect. Whether it's a wedding, whether it's a birthday, a corporate event, or a quiet family evening at home, we wanted to create something that makes those moments easier and remarkable.
Corporate Affairs at the ECCBC, Bertel Yeboah, says the relaunch of the MySmartCoke.com platform allows users to browse exclusive beverage bundles, enjoy promotional discounts, and access free doorstep delivery across major cities in Ghana.
Well, that's how we wrap up this evening's bulletin. I'm Sheila Sechi. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening.